Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Hey there.
Today, we're diving into a situation that's, well, it looks calm on the surface, doesn't it?
It really does. We're talking about Chanel and Johnny.
Right. And the core thing is, they've kind of reached this moment. It feels like peace, almost.
Yeah, they finally have some breathing room. I mean, Johnny's completely in the clear.
Those attempted murder charges related to E.J. DeMera's shooting?
All dropped.
Yeah.
Done. Finished. That whole legal mess, which, let's be honest, cast a huge shadow.
Mm.
It's over.
So theoretically, they should be moving forward, right? Focusing on building their life, their family.
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
But this is Salem we're talking about.
Exactly. Stability here is just, it's like setting the stage for the next disaster.
Pretty much. That's kind of our mission today, isn't it?
Yeah.
To show just how fragile that peace really is.
Yeah, we're going to break down these three big threats. They're all connected, too.
Totally interconnected. And they're basically set to turn this, quest for family happiness.
Into what? A dumpster fire?
Hey, yeah, an absolute firestorm. We're talking career ruin, personal secrets exploding, the works.
And it's not just one isolated problem hitting them?
No, it's like systemic. Everything's lining up to crash down at once.
Yeah.
You've got the long shadow of past health stuff.
The trauma that makes adoption their only path right now.
Exactly. Then there's the immediate crisis with the adoption itself. Baby Tesoro.
Which drags all their messy history back out into the open.
Right when they need to look squeaky clean for a social worker. And then the cherry on top.
This really nasty prank designed to wreck Johnny's new job.
His brand new career as a professor.
Mm.
And his reputation along with it.
So the sources we've got, they give us this really detailed map. It shows their history, where they are now.
Where the danger's coming from. It's complex.
We're not just recapping plot points here. We're looking at why they specifically are so vulnerable right now, how their past is basically primed to blow up their future.
Yeah, we're going to trace every step on this roadmap to, potential relationship demolition.
Okay, so let's start with that foundation, the trauma, because it really explains why this adoption is so critical for them.
Yeah, it's not just something they want to do. It's become a necessity.
And it all goes back to that honeymoon, Smith Island, which sounds lovely, but...
Oh, it was anything but lovely. It was catastrophic. Should have been this happy time. Right.
Quiet, romantic.
Instead, it was defined by this one awful event. And it all started when Chanel just disappeared.
Yeah.
In a blizzard.
Terrifying. Just vanished in a whiteout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can imagine the panic, especially for her mom, Paulina Price.
Paulina went into full rescue mode.
Totally. Desperate to find her daughter. She acted, heroically in a way, but also
recklessly.
Trying to drive through that storm.
And she crashed, hit a huge bulldozer.
Oof.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the crash itself, that collision. It's what led to the medical tragedy.
Because Chanel was pregnant at the time?
Exactly. And the impact, the situation, somehow exposed her to radioactive iodine.
Wow. Radioactive iodine. That's incredibly specific and dangerous. It is. And the sources are clear. This exposure, it directly caused the miscarriage.
So their honeymoon, this symbol of their new life together,
becomes the site of immense trauma, loss, and this really specific, dangerous medical event.
The irony is just brutal, and it's shaped everything for them since.
Absolutely. And that trauma didn't just, end when she recovered physically from the miscarriage. It left this long-term medical shadow. It's still affecting them.
Years later.
Yeah, years later. The sources confirm she's had other medical complications since then, all stemming back to Smith Island.
And this is the crucial part, isn't it? The part that makes the adoption so necessary right now.
This is the absolute core of it. She has not gotten the all clear from her doctors, not yet, to try and get pregnant again.
So it's not just about emotional readiness after loss. It's a physical, medical reality. Her body literally can't safely handle a pregnancy right now because of that exposure.
Precisely. So what here is huge. This past trauma, the radioactive iodine, the miscarriage, the ongoing complications. It's the only reason they are pursuing adoption right now.
It's not plan B, it's plan A.
It's plan A. They're looking at adopting baby Tesoro, not as, a nice alternative.
But as the only way they can currently start the family they desperately want.
Exactly. So if this adoption falls through, that dream of having kids together, it's kind of shelved. indefinitely, maybe.
That puts an incredible amount of pressure on this adoption process. It makes everything feel so fragile.
Immensely fragile. And that fragility just gets amplified when you remember their history before this current quiet patch.
Yeah, it's not like they've had years of calm, stable domestic life leading up to this.
Quite the opposite. We probably need to just quickly touch on that history, because any social worker looking at
They're going to see a pattern, aren't they?
oh yeah, a pattern of extreme chaos, frankly.
Okay, where do we even start? The first wedding.
The first quickie wedding in Italy, which was immediately followed by...
Johnny getting possessed by the actual devil. You can't make this stuff up.
Nope. And what's the first thing the devil does? Makes Johnny divorce Chanel.
So literal devil divorce after a quickie wedding. That's quite the foundation.
Sets a pretty high bar for marital instability right out of the gate, doesn't it?
And then when they got back together, the second wedding wasn't exactly low-key either.
Not at all. Their second IDs were said, like, in the most stressful setting imaginable. Paulina's hospital room.
When they thought she was dying. Fighting for her life.
So their big commitment ceremony, driven by crisis and fear. Again, not painting a picture of stability.
And the instability is recent, too. This isn't ancient history.
Not at all. We can't forget Johnny's very recent legal troubles.
Being arrested, jailed, tried for the attempted murder of his own father, E.J. DiMera.
I mean, even though those charges got dropped in the end.
The fact that it happened, that he went through a trial for trying to kill his dad, that's still incredibly fresh. Super fresh. And that whole period, the arrest, the trial, screams emotional turmoil, legal instability.
And potential violence, even if unproven.
Exactly. And this is the stuff their opponents, like the ones fighting them for the adoption, are going to use.
It's ammunition.
It's pure ammunition. They have this documented history of crisis, of drama, of instability.
Which is the exact opposite of what an adoption agency or a social worker wants to see.
Precisely. So all these past events, they perfectly set the stage for why this adoption attempt is hanging by such a thin thread. Their past isn't just history, it's evidence against them.
Okay, so the focus now is squarely on baby Tesoro.
Right. The adorable firehouse baby, as the sources sometimes call him, also referred to as Todd Philo, sometimes Tusordo.
Names aside, he's the goal. And Johnny is finally on board, right? He agreed to pursue the adoption.
Yes, which is a huge step. A really big deal, actually, considering how he felt before.
Oh, right. His previous reluctance. We need to talk about that because it adds another layer of, well, uncertainty. It absolutely does. We have to unpack Johnny's origin trauma, as the sources describe it, because it shows his commitment to adoption isn't simple. There's this deep psychological block.
He changed his mind before, didn't he? Like, suddenly.
Abruptly. Pulled the plug right when they were about to sign papers for another baby, Sophia and Tate's child, remember. It completely blindsided Chanel. Hurt her deeply.
And the sources give a reason for that sudden reversal.
They do. And it's heavy. It boils down to his father, E.J. DiMera.
How so?
Johnny found out that E.J. had molested his mother, Sammy Brady. And learning that, it fundamentally broke something in him. The sources literally call it his whole origin story.
Wow. So his fear wasn't just about being a dad.
No, it was this specific, terrifying fear of becoming like E.J., of repeating that pattern of abuse, of darkness.
Especially if the child wasn't biologically his.
Exactly. He somehow internalized this idea that adoption might trigger that potential darkness within him, that he might inherit EJ's monstrous legacy. It was a deep-seated fear about his own nature.
That is a massive psychological hurdle. So even though he seems ready now for Tesoro.
That history is there. That precedent for changing his mind at the last second, driven by this deep trauma. It makes his current commitment feel, well, potentially fragile. Especially if things get tough.
And things are definitely about to get tough because there's immediate opposition to them adopting Tesoro.
Very real, very immediate opposition from the current foster parents, Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez.
Right, and they aren't just temporary caregivers. They have opinions, strong ones.
They do. And interestingly, it's kind of a split decision on Chanel and Johnny.
What do they think?
They actually think Chanel would be great. They see her as potentially an awesome mom.
Okay, so the problem isn't Chanel in their eyes.
Nope. The problem is Johnny.
What's their take on him?
They see him as a loose cannon, totally unsuitable to be Tesoro's father, and their view is based entirely on that chaotic history we just talked about.
The arrest, the trial, the general instability.
All of it. The devil possession probably doesn't help either, if they know about that.
Probably not. So what can they actually do about it? Foster parents don't usually get the final say in adoptions, do they?
No, they can't make the decision, but they can influence it. And they have a plan.
Which is?
They intend to talk to the social worker handling Tesoro's case, and they're going to voice their concerns, specifically about Johnny's recent past.
Highlighting the attempted murder charges, even though they were dropped.
Exactly.
Hmm.
They know they don't need a conviction to raise doubts. Just the accusation, the trial.
Yeah.
It suggests volatility, poor impulse control, everything a social worker is trained to see as a red flag.
Smart move on their part, actually. Leverage the doubt.
Very smart. It plants that seed. Is this guy really stable enough for a child?
Which leads us to this delicious irony. Chanel's own past isn't exactly spotless either, is it?
Not even close. The sources basically say her past is just as bad as Johnny's. Leo and Javi might be focused on Johnny now, but Chanel gives them plenty of ammo too.
So let's get into Chanel's sketchy past. What are we talking about?
Okay, the big one is an affair she had with a college professor.
Ooh, okay. That's already problematic, especially in the context of proving stability.
Right. But it gets much, much worse. This wasn't just a quiet affair.
What happened?
There was a confrontation with the professor's wife. And during this confrontation, the wife fell off a roof.
Fell off, wait, what? Seriously? Fell off a roof.
Seriously. Now, the details might be murky on culpability, but the event itself, a confrontation involving Chanel, leads to someone falling off a roof. That's not a minor footnote in your history.
No kidding. That screams drama, danger, volatility, everything they're trying to avoid showing the social worker.
Precisely. And here's where it gets almost cosmically ironic. This history is coming full circle, as the sources put it.
Ow.
Because who is Chanel married to now? Johnny. And what did Johnny just start doing?
Oh my God. He just started his job as an adjunct professor at Salem U teaching film.
Bingo. The timing is almost unbelievable.
So imagine you're the social worker. You learn Chanel had this scandalous, dangerous affair with a professor back in the day.
An affair that ended with someone falling off a roof.
And now her current husband is a professor. It creates this narrative, doesn't it?
A really damaging narrative. It suggests a pattern, a potential attraction to, or at least involvement in, drama surrounding academic settings and boundary issues.
It makes Johnny's new, potentially unstable situation look even worse by association with her past. It makes them as a couple look like a magnet for trouble.
Exactly. It connects her past choices directly to their present vulnerability. It gives anyone scrutinizing them, Leo, Javi, the social worker, a ready-made story about why this couple is a bad bet.
Okay, so their own histories are minefields. But there are also external secrets about Tesoro himself that are about to blow up, right?
Huge secrets. Ticking time bombs, basically, buried under all this adoption drama, completely separate from Chanel and Johnny's issues.
What's the first one?
It involves Sophia Choi, remember? The mother of the baby Johnny and Chanel almost adopted before.
Yeah. And Melinda Trask, the DA.
Right. The fact that it was actually Sophia Choi who surrendered to Tesoro, the firehouse baby, is still a secret, kept hidden with Melinda's help.
Whoa. So the baby they're trying to adopt now is also Sophia's, or connected to her.
The sources imply a strong connection, possibly Sophia being the birth mother again, or directly involved in the surrender. And this secret is apparently about to come out.
How would that change things?
Dramatically. It throws the entire basis of the surrender into question. Why the secrecy? Was it legal? It casts immediate doubt on the whole case.
Okay, bomb number one. What else?
Paternity. It's being actively investigated as we speak. Steve Johnson is running a DNA test on baby Tesoro.
Steve's on the case. Who do they suspect might be the father?
The implication points towards Tate Black.
Holly's boyfriend, Tate, the one involved with Sophia before.
That's the one, if that DNA test comes back positive.
Tate is Tesoro's biological father. That changes everything.
Completely. It brings him directly into the equation.
Right.
Now, legally, there might be an argument that his window to claim paternity or object has closed.
But hang on, how could the clock run out if he didn't even know the baby existed, let alone that he might be the father?
Exactly. That's the loophole.
Yeah.
A court would almost certainly consider that he was unaware. They prioritize the child's best interest, and usually that involves the biological parents, if possible, and willing.
So the court might give Tate a say in where Tesoro goes.
Very likely. They could grant him standing. And the huge unknown then becomes, who would Tate want to raise his son?
Would he support Chanel and Johnny? Or maybe he'd prefer the current foster parents, Javi and Leo?
We have no idea. His preference could throw the entire adoption into absolute chaos, siding with either couple or even trying to raise the child himself, potentially.
So, to sum up this section, Tesoro is their lifeline to a family, but the adoption is incredibly shaky.
Totally. You've got Johnny's internal issues, the external opposition from Leo and Javi using their pasts against them, and these massive secrets about the baby's origins about to explode.
It's a crucible. And the heat is about to get turned way, way up by someone with a serious grudge.
All right, now we get to the immediate trigger, the spark that's going to light this whole thing up.
The catalyst for the acute crisis, an outside force targeting them.
Exactly. An agent of chaos deliberately launching an attack on Johnny's professional life, which, as we've established, is critical for the adoption.
And this agent is Sophia Choi, again, described as very jealous.
Yep, the very same Sophia Choi potentially connected to Tesoro's origins. And her primary target isn't even Johnny, initially. It's her rival, Holly Jonas.
But Johnny's going to get swept up in it.
Oh, he's not just swept up, he's central to the plot. He becomes the weapon used against Holly, and collateral damage doesn't even begin to cover it.
Okay, so why is Sophia targeting Holly? What's the beef there?
It all goes back to high school drama, basically. A past crush.
Holly had a crush on Johnny.
A huge crush, apparently, back when they were technically step-siblings.
Yeah.
Remember when Holly's mom, Nicole Walker, was married to Johnny's dad, EJ?
Ah, right, that whole tangled family web. So Holly had a thing for her stepbrother, Johnny.
Yep. And it wasn't just a passing thing, according to the sources. Chanel herself apparently knows all about it. She's quoted saying Holly was literally always trying to squeeze between them.
Okay, so there's known history there. Even if it's old news, Chanel is aware of this past dynamic.
Exactly. And this crush isn't totally buried history either. It's come up recently. Sophia apparently mentioned it to Ariana Horton, and it even came up between Holly and Tate not long ago.
So it's still relevant. It's fuel that Sophia can use.
Precisely. Sophia sees this old crush as the perfect vulnerability to exploit. A way to hurt Holly by making it seem like the crush is back on, and inappropriately so.
Which leads us to her actual plan. How does she set this up? It sounds pretty devious.
It starts with Tate, actually. He was trying to figure out the truth about the baby Sophia surrendered.
The one Johnny and Chanel nearly adopted before.
Right. So Tate kind of tricked Sophia, got her to his dorm room, and kissed her. The sources say he was trying to smooch the truth out of her.
Classy. How does Sophia react?
Not well. She freaked out, ran off, and told Ariana not to tell Holly about the kiss. This seems to be the tipping point for her.
So instead of going after Tate for kissing her, she decides to target Holly.
Seems like it. Misdirected revenge. And her plan is pretty invasive.
What does she do?
She goes into Holly's dorm room while Holly is asleep, and she snaps risque photos of her.
Whoa. Okay, that's crossing a serious line, taking photos of someone sleeping.
Absolutely. A major violation. And she doesn't just take the photos for herself.
What's the next step? This is where Johnny comes in, isn't it?
This is exactly where he comes in. The sources speculate pretty strongly that Sophia will then use Holly's own phone.
So it looks like the message is coming from Holly.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
she'll text or email those compromising photos directly to Johnny.
Oh no, to Johnny, her former stepbrother, who is now her professor at Salem U.
Bingo. And the message, whether it's written out or just implied by sending the photos,
Is designed to make it look like Holly is hitting on him, reigniting that old crush.
precisely, making it look like she is making an inappropriate sexual advance towards her professor, using those risque photos as proof.
This is bad. This is really, really bad, especially given his brand new job.
It's devastatingly bad timing, because this isn't just, an awkward text from an old acquaintance. This is manufactured evidence of a serious breach of student-teacher boundaries.
Made to look like it's coming from the student.
Yes. The second those photos land in Johnny's inbox, whether he replies, deletes them, reports it immediately. The damage might already be starting. The firestorm kicks off right there.
And this is where everything just collides, isn't it? The past, trauma making adoption necessary, their sketchy histories making them vulnerable.
And Johnny's new job being the one thing holding up their current chance at stability.
And Sophia's prank targets that job directly. It's catastrophic.
The consequences are immediate and potentially life-altering for them. The sources are very clear. This is going to blow up into a big professor scandal.
And universities these days, they don't mess around with this stuff, even the appearance of impropriety.
Zero tolerance, especially faculty-student stuff. The fabrication, the photos. It's designed to completely destroy his professional credibility.
The sources say it could easily cost Johnny his job, get him fired.
Explicitly.
Yeah.
They say it could get him fired and ruin his reputation.
And remember the irony we talked about? Chanel's own past involving a professor scandal and someone falling off a roof.
How could we forget? So when this hits, the social worker isn't just seeing Johnny as a potential victim of a prank. They're seeing a couple where professor-student boundary issues seem to just happen. It reinforces the instability narrative tenfold.
So losing the job isn't just about money, it's about credibility. It's about the adoption.
It's the final nail in the coffin for the adoption. Getting fired would really screw up Chanel and Johnny's marriage, the sources predict, but critically, it would prevent them from starting a family.
Because the social worker sees this scandal, even if faked, as proof they can't provide a stable home.
Exactly. It confirms every doubt Leo and Javi might raise. It validates every concern about their pasts. It proves, in the eyes of the system, that they are not suitable parents.
Wow, it really is the perfect storm. Sophia's targeting Holly, but she is using Johnny's most vulnerable point, his new job, and leveraging Chanel's past to make the damage stick.
It's incredibly calculated. Lose the job, lose the adoption, potentially lose the marriage. Everything hinges on that professional stability, and Sophia is taking direct aim at it.
Every single piece is connected. The miscarriage forces the adoption. Their history makes the adoption fragile. The job represents fragile stability. And the prank shatters that stability.
It's a house of cards, and Sophia's about to pull out the bottom one. #tag outro.
Okay, so let's just try and bring this all together for you, the listener. Chanel and Johnny had this brief moment, right? Charges dropped, a bit of peace.
Yeah, a moment of, like, illusory calm. But as we've seen, it was just the setup for 3 massive crises hitting them all at once.
And their own pasts are basically fueling the fire now.
Absolutely. The Smith Island trauma, the radioactive exposure, that dictates why they need Tesoro so desperately.
Then Johnny's own trauma about EJ makes him internally fragile about the whole adoption idea to begin with.
And Chanel's history, especially the professor affair and the roof incident, makes Johnny externally vulnerable now that he's in that same profession.
All while the social worker is watching their every move, trying to decide if they're fit parents.
So you've got these simultaneous threats, any one of which could derail everything.
Threat 1. Leo and Javi, the foster parents, actively trying to torpedo the adoption by highlighting Johnny's unstable past.
Threat 2. The ticking time bomb of Tesoro's real parentage. The DNA test, Sophia's secret. The potential for Tate Black to suddenly appear as the father.
Introducing a whole new level of legal and emotional chaos.
And threat 3. Sophia's malicious prank. The manufactured professor scandal designed specifically to get Johnny fired and destroy their credibility.
Credibility they desperately need for the adoption. Their entire future, their family dream, it's all balanced precariously on Johnny keeping that job and maintaining a clean reputation.
And Sophia, driven by jealousy, is deploying this calculated, deeply damaging prank using those risque photos, violating trust specifically to make sure that reputation is destroyed.
Which guarantees they fail the adoption process and likely shatters their relationship in the process.
So it leaves us, and you, with this final kind of heavy question to think about.
Given how much everything depends on them appearing stable, on no more secrets coming out, which of these threats is ultimately going to hit them the hardest?
Is it the explosion of truth about Tesoro's parents? The biological reality crashing into their plans, maybe pulling Tate into a messy custody fight?
Or is it the manufactured lie? The public scandal, the professional ruin, the targeted destruction of Johnny's career that confirms all the worst fears about their stability?
Which storm breaks them, the truth or the lie?
The firestorm is definitely here, and Chanel and Johnny are right in the middle of it.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
We'll see you next time.